Well, good evening, good people, and Eagle fans and 49er fans. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. Hope everybody's having a great day and a good weekend. Do you realize that 2 weeks from today, our Dallas Cowboys players will be in Oxnard? The off season is almost over. Thank God. Kon Turpin, has gotten in trouble, got pulled over, less than 2 ounces of weed and a gun. I think an unregistered gun in his car. The only problem with this is, or the major problem with this is, there was a domestic abuse, something with a family member, I think in 2019, 2018, and hopefully it was just a misdemeanor. I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't know. What I've been doing is I've been busting a hump trying to get everything done, work-wise. It's gonna be raining the next couple of days, so I have to do a whole bunch of work outside. And hopefully it doesn't rain too much tomorrow so I can get some of this other stuff. I'm going to finish these railings on these decks tomorrow. But I'm trying to get everything out of the way while we're in this dead zone, so that way once training camp opens up, I can be fully focused on getting back into it. And, it's been hard actually because there hasn't been a whole lot to talk about. Turpin is, here's where it's interesting, because you had a 49er cornerback who basically was arrested for a similar situation. And so it was a blip in the radar. It'll be interesting to see how much it's played up tomorrow. So every Sunday, and we've been doing this for I think about 4 or 5 years now, we have a member call-in show. And today was special because Eugene Monroe, 8th pick in the 2009 draft by the Jacksonville Jaguars, left tackle, played for 7 years for Jacksonville and the Baltimore Ravens. And he is an advocate for marijuana to help veterans with post-traumatic stress disorder as well as NFL players. And it was interesting because he joined us because he's partners with one of our members, Leo Bridgewater, who's, he's a pain in the ass and he gets on your nerves, but he's doing really, really good work with marijuana. Couldn't say that a few years back, could we? 20 years back, boy, I'd be probably having the popo knocking on my door saying something like that, but not anymore. But he gave us the take about marijuana and Turpin, of course, using it. The thing that's crazy is, and I know from my own personal experience, I can't stand to take medication. I would get 800 milligrams, 1,000 milligrams of ibuprofen, which of course is not an opioid. But, I just don't like medication because I always get lightheaded. When I had Dilaudid in the hospital because I had my leg burned and they're literally pulling the skin off of the skin grafts, I just felt loopy. And even for me taking my blood pressure, my dad died and the stress and everything else, my blood pressure was like 160s and over 110. And I had never had high blood pressure before. And so the doctor started prescribing me different blood pressure medications. And some of them just made me feel loopy and out of it and just no get up and go without really reducing my blood pressure. And I just don't like to take medication. Some of the medications and things that they prescribe, and you start hearing about the side effects and things of them, are unbelievable. Tanidol, which is, they're giving that out like, it's chiclets. But getting shots of Tanidol before, during, and after games and stuff for pain management so these guys can play. What they do for our entertainment is unhuman. And as he put it, this time of the year, your body is in tip-top shape. You are ready to roll. And for the time you hit training camp, you're just trying to maintain. You're not getting stronger. You're taking all these hits and these abuses, and every time it's like a car wreck when you're an offensive or defensive lineman. And he had an interesting take on quarterbacks. He said, Walker Wade was like, the rules, can't touch the quarterback and things like that are, taking the competitive advantage off of the teams and stuff. And his take was, he said, listen, if you're letting a guy, a 290, 300-pound guy that's running a 4.7 40 to be able to take out his aggressions on a defenseless guy, you're talking about bodily damage that just continues to build up. And when you start thinking about, he starts talking about the quality of life of some of the players after the fact. We all dream about being an NFL player. Oh man, I want to play football. Yeah. But the reality of it is, it's brutal. It's hard. And everybody is always one play away from being retired. And that's the real deal with football. We love it. We love to watch it. But I always try and tell people that, remember, these guys playing football are like you and me to a point, with the exception of they deal with high pain constantly. And they do this to make a living and for our entertainment. And I'm grateful for all of those guys that are out there playing. And even if we're talking about the last guy on the roster, you got to understand, even that guy beat the odds of making it to the NFL. It's only about 2,000 players playing a year out of all the people on the planet. You get better chances of being a brain surgeon. So, having been to Vermont after the floods, having been to Florida, seeing years later devastation from a hurricane in Florida, having been in New Orleans right after Katrina, and being in Puerto Rico rebuilding homes twice, I understand firsthand the devastation of what a massive flood can do. What I don't know is the devastation of family members being lost. We're somewhere in the neighborhood of 70 people, I think, with still many, many more that are missing because this river rose so fast, there was no time. And I send prayers out to all of those people because it'll take a long time to rebuild. And as I always tell you guys, man, I've got a couple things that are going on. I told you guys that losing my dad was devastating for me. And I went through a lot of depression, and I have good days and bad days from it. At the low point, I would do my videos, and when I was done, I would literally just shut off. What I learned from my dad passing is you've got to be prepared for when you're not there. And there's so many things that I need to do. And that's why I haven't been doing quite as many videos. It's like, I've got to get these things done. And I have no idea how much time I have. Neither do you. There's people in the town in Texas, they had no idea what was happening. Going to happen the next day. Work hard and make sure the people you love know how you feel about them. I love you guys, and I'm going to keep on busting the hump and keep on trying to get in better shape. I only got this one body, and it's a mess. Oh. Appreciate you guys. Peace.